This is a big deal. If this works out, we are going to be doing a citizen's arrest. Yeah, surprise, surprise. Hey. And why are we doing a citizen's arrest? Back in February, we were doing a press coverage of the vax clinic that was at the Shasta County Fairgrounds. While we were there, the cops were called on us, law enforcement, and CHP showed up. They were there for 8 minutes, and they couldn't do anything. And so they just left. They showed up, stood there, and left. It was just harassment. Rich Gallardo, he did a great job getting ready this entire citizen's arrest. It's a big deal, guys, because we're not going to take it. If we want to be press, if we want to utilize our First Amendment and cover certain events because the media is not doing an effective job, we're going to do it ourselves. And we're not going to be harassed. So he's at the door right now. We were harassed as the press. Officer?
It's okay.
Yeah, can I want to get up there real quick. He doesn't want.
Just Rich.
Okay.
We don't want.
Can I come over here and record though?
I think you're the person in charge of police that day, but I want to give you the opportunity. If you're not the person responsible for calling the police, making the decision to call the police, I don't want a citizen arrested. I want to arrest that person. Does that make sense? Yes, I was. Okay. So I, Richard Jason Gallardo, hereby conduct a citizen's arrest for David Marin by the authority of allegations are 148.5. February 13th, Mr. Marin, by the county Shasta.
So he just submitted.
He's free. You gotta stand on public property.
February 13th, 2021, Mr. Marin, by the county Shasta. The record, and this is going to be the county.
Did you see anybody in the window like his family? They all ran in the backyard. Nice house, Dave.
I'm gonna advise.
I love how he takes over. Rich is so bossy.
I wish I could get closer.
Would you like to be his wife? No.
So as he probably already explained to you, they have no idea what this is. And I don't need to be here anymore, so if you guys need to flop, then we can do it. You're done, we're done. I'm done with you guys. Thank you so much, sir. Have a good day. Thank you, Shauna. Dave's not a happy camper. All right. We citizens arrested a county health employee who was in charge of the vaccine clinic on February 13th of this year at the Shasta District Fairgrounds. This incident at the fairgrounds, in which this arrest is based off of, was the third time the cops had harassed us from people calling, saying we were disruptive. And that third time, that was enough for me to say, no, I'm not going to let the government goons use the government to harass me in my freedom of press activities. No. Filing a false police report, it's a misdemeanor. It's not really that big of a deal, but that's not the case.
The point of the matter. Yeah.
The point of the matter is, okay, we were obstructed several times from enjoying our freedom of press, First Amendment, and after that third one, I'm like, I'm done.
Right.
There's a penal code which allows citizens arrest which gives citizens in the state of California the authority to do a citizen's arrest. Citizen takes on that liability. CHP is here to witness my citizen's arrest, but CHP does not, they don't have a legal liability in this matter. It's all mine. All of it. So, I just arrested Dave Marin for filing a false police report against us last February. He admitted that he was the one in charge and he's the one that called. He admitted it. Now here's what I expect to happen.
Yeah, that's what I want to
I expect Highway Patrol to process this, and I expect them to refer this to the DA. I don't think Highway Patrol is going to want to step in it and dismiss it at the Highway Patrol level. This goes to the local DA for referral. So the CHP, if they're smart, they're going to say, yeah, okay, this is going to be a gray area crime. Let's let the DA make that decision. That's what I hope they do. If they're smart, that's what they will do. They really shouldn't drop it at the CHP level because it wouldn't be very politically,
right.
It just wouldn't be good.
But as far as
Mr. Alexander, I've got a little push with Mr. CHP Commander Alexander.
yeah.
Push meaning he's done things improperly recently, so I hope if he doesn't want those things to be aired, that he will just push this up to the DA. So let's max $1,000 fine, max 1 year in jail. That's not going to happen in California, right?
Yeah.
They let sex offenders out, for God's sake. So it'll be a slap on the wrist and a year's probation if it gets to that point.
Okay.
I don't expect it to get there, but
great.
if it does. All right, everybody. Citizens arrest the government goons. Okay, get a hold of a lawyer and just do it.
Hey, there you guys have it. Citizens arrest. We're not going to take it. We're going to be pressed if we want to be pressed because that's our First Amendment right. And we're not going to let people harass us. We're not going to tolerate it. So this is one of the tactics that you can do legally, right? You can counter attack with a citizen's arrest.
Or the citizens will come back. You understand?
Dick Gallardo!
You understand?
Dick Gallardo!
You understand?
What the fuck you doing here, Dick Gallardo?
I just need to hand an envelope to someone real quick.
No problem.
Richard Jason Gallardo,
4 days.
you've been served.
Invalid service.
You've
4
been
days.
served. You've been served.
Invalid service.
You've been served. That's valid, and I recorded it. You've been served. You've been served. You need something from me, buddy?
How do you drive on a suspended license?
I don't have a suspended license.
Oh, you don't?
I don't. Nope. Nope. What do you need? You filmed the back of my car for what reason?
Yep.
Yeah?
Yep.
What's the point of that?
Public place.
Yeah, because you're someone who harasses people?
Public place. No expectation of privacy.
Yeah, what are you planning on doing with that information there?
Well, wouldn't you like to know?
Yeah, I sure would. That's why I'm asking. That's why I'm asking. Look
Wouldn't
at
you like
this.
to
Look
know?
at this guy. Look at him. Look at him right there trying to film my car like this. You're a tiny little man, Rich.
You have a suspended
You're a
license.
fucking nobody.
Get out of
You're
my,
a nobody.
Get out of my face.
No, get the
out of
fuck
my
away
face.
from me. You want to stand back there and you want to film my
I'm
fucking
walking
car?
Away.
You want to
I'm
film my
walking
car?
away and you're within hand's distance.
And as you like
need
you said,
to
it's a
stay
public
out.
place, isn't it?
Stay away.
Is it
from,
not a public
you're
place?
Within arm's reach.
Is it not a public
You're
place?
within arm's reach.
Maybe
Stay
I'm
away.
citizens arresting you.
You're
How about
within
that?
Arm's reach. Stay
Okay.
away.
All right.
You're within
Then
arm's
walk up.
reach, fucker. I gave you fucking. I fucking gave you warning. Don't worry, I'll call
Rich
the police.
Gallardo just pepper sprayed me
Yeah, I did.
after filming my vehicle.
Yep, I'm calling the police right now.
Yep, man.
You got in my space, you were threatening me. So I got the police coming right now, Nathan. You're
Yeah.
Stay away.
Do
I'll
it.
fucking
I
hit it
swear to
again.
God. I swear to God,
I'll
dude.
fucking cover you in this shit. I fucking told you stay away from me.
This whole thing is being filmed.
That's right.
Oh, man. Oh. You see that? He just pepper sprayed me.
That's correct.
Did you witness that?
That's correct. 'Cause you kept getting in my face.
I wasn't in your face. You were up there. You were up at my vehicle. You came up to my vehicle.
Yep. You wouldn't let me go when I was walking away,
Yeah.
Nathan.
Yeah, he just pepper sprayed me.
Reach, even though I warned you.
Yeah, he just pepper sprayed me. Rich Gallardo just pepper sprayed me. Oh God.
Yep. Just wait here.
Oh, I'll be waiting here. Don't worry. Is Dawn dish soap and water?
Yeah.
Okay. My face is on fire. It's fucking hours after. God. Okay. This sucks. I'm gonna get that going.
And we've got Rich Gallardo here, the great researcher who just never quits. And
I have a new nickname. It's Quick Draw.
yeah, we got Quick Draw here. Hey, we got to have fun with this. You know, everybody's so serious all the time. You know, if you might as well have fun with what you do in life.
I think there are many on the left who are so, well, they're evil. They're evil. They're twisted. They're so dysfunctional that you will never, ever, ever, ever get through to them. It's impossible. And I'm talking, I mean, can you imagine trying to reason with a lot of the Antifa crowd?
Oh, no.
I know, you're not going to reason with them. How about our local piece of shit friend, Nathan Pinckney? Are we going to reason with it? No. He is so far gone. He is an absolutely dysfunctional, misfit, degenerate loser. He's extremely insecure, and he constantly needs 15 minutes of fame so he can feel better about his miserable self. That's what drives him. And so he has embraced left-wing politics to give his life some sense of purpose. And he wants to go and he wants to be the center of attention so he can feel better because he's got this big hole torn inside him. He's so terribly insecure. And I'm sure a lot of it has to do with the way that he was raised. I've heard all kinds of things about it, which I don't need to go into. But what really, really bothers me with that is that he is evil. He is downright evil. The stuff that he does is evil. And that's why we have to stand up against him. We have to stand up against people like him. I mean, I could talk, a lot of people don't fully realize exactly what he does. I mean, he's well known. He's got a lot of notoriety.
They just see the TikTok videos and the funny songs.
Well, let me go over a couple things here really quick, okay? This is a guy with no scruples, no moral compass, no sense of right and wrong, and in true Antifa fashion, if he disagrees with you, he's going to try to destroy you. He's going to try to shut you down or destroy you completely. A couple things that he does right off the bat. Number one, he doxes people, and he does this all the time. He has doxed me, for example, and many, many, many others. This is not just about me, okay? Mm-hmm. But when there's a person that he wishes to bring harm to, and he does that all the time, by the way, right? Yeah. He's too cowardly to do it himself. So he will put a person's name and address and phone number out on the internet. He might even include the name of their kids. Mm-hmm. His hope, of course, is that some crazy, twisted individual will be like-minded with him and will do the dirty work for him. Now think about how dark that is. Think about how evil that is. But that's really what he's doing, right?
Right.
He will create fake accounts in other people's names and other people's photograph. And then while pretending to be somebody else, he will go to places like the Record Searchlight comment section and he will make racist remarks. Graphically racist, terribly inappropriate remarks while pretending to be somebody else, obviously to make the person that he is pretending to be look bad. He has done that to me. He's done that to many people, but he's absolutely done that to me. Okay? This is the stuff that he does. If you have a business in Shasta County, we know what he does there. Mm-hmm. If you have a business in Shasta County, and if he disagrees with your political viewpoints,
he says your ratings are going to drop and you're going to, well, guess what? It took me 38 minutes to go in to Yelp after he did that to the Whiskey Town barbecue place.
Let's talk about that, though.
Yeah. Took 38 minutes to go in and report all of those as non-legit.
But for those who may not know, we'll come back to that because you might be getting ahead of yourself here. Just for those who may not know, okay? Right. If he disagrees with your politics, he will mobilize and he will get his little band of misfit losers and they will attack your business with bad Yelp reviews. Mm-hmm. They have no problem with your business per se. It's your politics that they don't like. So it's fake, it's phony, it's completely dishonest, and they will throw your business under the bus. Now, you're right. He did that with Whiskey Town Barbecue, and to your credit, you were able to turn the tides on that a little bit, right?
Yeah. I mean, it took 38 minutes. I sat down. We were actually eating Whiskey Town Barbecue that we got to go that day, and sat and reported every one of the ones that were made after his call to action posts to go through and leave bad reviews. And I posted a screenshot of his call to action to Yelp in the, report whatever thing and said, here's his call to action. Here's all the ones that I reported. And they went through and they removed all of those. And then they closed the ability to rate that restaurant for like a week or whatever.
Good for you and good for Yelp. That's a good thing,
Yeah.
He has threatened a female friend of mine, and he threatened her underage son with great bodily harm. And then he tagged Antifa in that particular post, again, hoping that somebody else will do the dirty work for him. He shuts down meetings. We know at this last board meeting, now here's something that's really unacceptable, right? Despite numerous warnings from Chairman Patrick Jones, he continued to be disruptive. Again, he's following the Antifa doctrine. He'll shut people down, try to shut down a meeting if he doesn't like what's being said, right? So here he is, being very fascist in his approach, trying to shut people down that he disagrees with, ignores all the warnings from Chairman Jones, to the point where, as you know, Chairman Jones had to shut down the meeting, call for a recess in order to regain control. What does that mean? It means that he was successful. The meeting was shut down completely. Now, in spite of the fact that there was 2 sheriff's deputies present who witnessed this, was he arrested?
No.
No, he was not arrested. Was he charged? No. This is a clear violation of the law. I believe it's 420 of the California State Penal Code. Okay, it's absolutely illegal, and he was not arrested. Something that I find particularly disturbing is that it was suggested, I'm not going to release all the details on this podcast here, but it was suggested by some higher ups that a citizen's arrest be made. Let's talk about that. A citizen's arrest is necessary when the misdemeanor is not in the presence of police officers. In this particular case, there was 2 sheriff's deputies present. They witnessed the whole thing. There's absolutely no need for a citizen's arrest.
Right.
He should have been arrested, and he should have been held accountable. And it's despicable to me that he wasn't. I strongly suspect the reason why he got away with it, and this is really, really bad, I believe that Sheriff Johnson was scared to arrest him on some level, because if you do, one of the first things that he's going to do is cry racist. He's going to play the race card, and he's going to cry
already
racism.
has.
Okay.
There's posts out there where he's made contact with the ACLU.
Okay.
And they are gathering evidence against Patrick where Patrick has marginalized him or only silenced him over silencing the others. And that post has been screenshotted and shared with me. I can't tell you how many times. Look what he's doing. This is the next step. So he's trying, it's 100%. We're going to use that card, and you know what? One, he has to stop being given the attention that he's seeking, because he uses any outburst in the meetings to create his own circus, chaotic, whatever. But it's not just him. Every person from that entire media, whatever, that I'm not even going to mention their name because they're not even worth it. They're not worth reading. They're not worth following. They're not worth even getting credit for this. They also wanted in on the drama and the action, like she wanted in on it when she wore a neck brace for 3 weeks after, so they sat down too.
Mention her name.
No, thank you. She's not worth it.
All right.
She's not worth it.
All right.
She's
no,
so
she's
not even worth the breath.
She's absolutely despicable. You're right.
And the thing is, people like him, people like her, are not worth mentioning. People like, there's other people in the meetings that are not worth it.
The reason why I disagree with that, and the reason why I brought him up, is because he does have to be called out. He does have to be held accountable for the wrongdoing that he does. And when you have people like Sheriff Johnson, who I strongly suspect was cowardly, I strongly suspect the reason why he would not arrest Nathan is, again, he didn't want to feel the wrath of Nathan calling the race card and accusing everybody of racist behavior and involving the ACLU. Okay, when you take the cowardly approach like that, you allow him to win, and you allow him to continue.
And it's going to continue.
Correct.
That's the problem.
He's going to continue his wrongdoing. The law applies to everybody equally.
Right.
We need equal justice under the law.
And I think all 8 or however many people who stayed in there should be charged with, I was standing out in the hallway with an attorney, and all of them, after they closed and locked the doors and removed everybody's personal property, can be charged with trespassing.
Okay.
All of them can be charged with shutting down a public meeting, which is also it's a law that it was broken.
Absolutely.
Causing a disruption that shuts down a public meeting. And I think not just him, but all of them should be charged.
Sure.
And the reason it's not even worth mentioning every single one of them and whatever is they all need to be held accountable. They all need to be charged, and they all need to not be given a chance to continue to do this every single time. But instead, nothing's going to happen. They're going to put all this on Patrick. Patrick's going to be the one who ends up with a faulty lawsuit. Patrick's going to be the one who ends up with this headache to deal with. Patrick's going to be the one who has consequences for the meeting shutting down, even though Patrick didn't do anything wrong.
Absolutely
Patrick gave
did not.
8, 9, 10 chances before he even gave his first warning. That meeting was out of control from the beginning.
We need equal protection under the law. That's one of the founding principles of this country, right? We don't cowardly back down to an individual who may accuse us of being a racist. We don't do that. We hold him accountable like we would hold anybody else accountable. That is absolutely wrong that he got away with that. And if cowardice is the real reason why Sheriff Johnson refused to take action, you know what? Then shame on him. This is why I supported John Green, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. You're damn right I did.
Absolutely.
So anyway, but Nathan has a habit of getting away with things. One of the most egregious ones of all is that he actually drew a handgun, right, and threatened to murder people after an altercation that he started did not go his way. Let's not forget this. This needs to be said. It needs to be said over and over again. He starts an altercation with Carlos Zapata and his friend. The altercation did not go the way Nathan wanted it to. So after they leave the restaurant where Nathan was employed, after Carlos and his friend leave, Nathan goes and retrieves a handgun, is seen by co-workers waving the handgun around, and then head towards the door in pursuit like he's going to go after them. All the while, he's saying, I'm going to kill those MFers. Now, I'm paraphrasing, of course, but that's what he's saying. I'm going to kill those MFers. Luckily, the co-workers were able to talk him down. They were able to disarm him. You know what? Kudos to the co-workers. That's great. But Nathan was not criminally charged. That is an obvious case of criminal threats. He has the means. He's got a gun. He's heading out towards the door in pursuit of them. He says it verbally in a very loud fashion. I'm going to kill them, right? It clearly is a case of criminal threats, but again, he got away with that. This is wrong. This is wrong in Shasta County. This is wrong anywhere. He needs to be held accountable. Equal protection under the law, equal administration of justice. This is what we need. And he has been, because Shasta County plays favorites and because they're scared of certain ramifications of the ACLU or being called a racist or something, people are treading lightly around him in those respects. It's just blatantly wrong. You know, he needs to be held accountable.
Yeah, well,
I know
as much fun as this conversation is, I mean, all of this stuff, everything that's going on in our country, the whole climate, everything, I will tell you, him and his drama are more draining and annoying than than paying $8 for eggs, than paying $6 for gas. I mean, honestly, that is what's causing the division. That is what's causing, I mean, I have had to remove people that I'm friends with, that I've known for years, because they're super fans of his. And as soon as I get rid of them on Facebook, all of a sudden, things that were being shared are no longer being shared. And how sad is that? That somebody who knows me to my core, who's known me for years, who obviously sees all the stuff he's doing, can't make the judgment call of like, hey, we've been friends and I know you're a character, but wants to choose him. And I'm sorry, if that's who you want to choose and align with, I am more than happy to say, sorry, you're not worth my time and my space.
Absolutely.
Because I live a very happy, content life and I don't need that. But I mean, why? Why are we allowing it to create such division and such...
Leslie,
what does he do that's positive? I heard at one point he was funny. I heard he was
Leslie,
entertaining.
Do you know anybody on our side? Do you know anybody on the Patriot side, the conservative side? Do you know anybody that doxes people on our side? Because I don't. Do you know anybody that disrupts meetings on our side? I don't.
No.
Do you know anybody that creates fake accounts and then runs around pretending to be somebody else, making racist comments to make the person they're pretending to be look bad? Do you know anybody who does this kind of thing on our side?
We don't have time. We have full-time jobs.
We don't do that. And it's, you know, you're right. You're right about that. But it even goes beyond that, because you know what else we have? We have a sense of fair play. We have decency. We have integrity, right? We have a higher standard. He has none, okay? Which also speaks to something else I want to bring up before we move on and talk about other things past him, which we certainly certainly should do, right? But there is one more thing that we need to touch on. His girlfriend, attorney, baby mama, whatever you want to say, right? Lisa Jensen, okay, encourages him, helps him, supports him, even though she technically, as an attorney, is an officer of the court. Now, I could talk about the fact that they met because he's got quite a long criminal record, and so they met because she's a defense attorney, and I believe she was representing him in one of his stunts. Okay. So I guess he got into trouble before he got notoriety, because now that he has notoriety, everybody is too scared to do anything. They're too scared to enforce the law. They let him disrupt meetings, but that's another story. Anyway, my point is, they meet under professional circumstances, right? And she has this sexual relationship with him, which is evident by the fact that she's pregnant with his baby, okay? Which is clearly a violation of the California State Bar's Code of Ethics. It is an ethics violation to have sexual relations with your clients. Now, personally for me, I don't care that much about that one. Even though it is an ethics violation, and I'm sure the State Bar has reasons for that, I don't really care who sleeps with who. I don't really care who has sex with who. But the fact that she encourages him and helps him, and you know, and she's on video with him, she's doing all that as an officer of the court, that is a serious problem. That's really bad.
Well, and I hope she realizes what that looks like and what that does for her future in that profession, because I know people who are in the same profession as her who watch her walk around following him with a camera, waiting for something to happen. How, one, does that make her any better than an ambulance chaser when you're just walking around waiting for something to happen?
Right.
He is trying to incite something, and you're walking around behind waiting for it to happen. Why are you walking around filming if you don't know that he's trying to incite something? Two, you then become an integral part of this when you are his filmer and producer. You become just as complicit in whatever activity or malice or whatever he causes. So then how can you represent him in that? I just don't understand it, but it makes you look bad. Why would you, as somebody who is a professional, want that look? I don't understand it.
Don't you think that a professional attorney who technically is an officer of the court, don't you think that they would know better than to be aligned and to be encouraging an individual who doxes people, who does all these dirty deeds, who disrupts meetings, okay? And let's not even talk about pulling the gun and all that other business, okay? Don't you think that they would know better than to put themselves in a questionable situation with somebody who does wrongdoing like that?
Yeah.
I mean, it's ridiculous, right? Wow, this is amazing. Attorneys, even though they have a reputation to the contrary, attorneys are supposed to be fair and honest. I mean, this is, of course, in a perfect world, which clearly doesn't exist because they're known to be anything but for the most part. But Nathan is famous for altering videos. He will alter a video. He will change a video to suit his needs, to make him look good, to make the other side look bad. He does this kind of thing all the time. Now, don't you think that if she had any integrity at all, she would school him on that? And she would say, hey, you know what? Stop using video editors. Stop changing the video. Stop trying to alter the facts. That's not what happened. Don't you think that if she had any integrity at all, she would do that? But she doesn't. Okay, so again, she's part of the problem, you know, and this is all part of a much bigger picture in this country. I don't want to sit here and talk about them forever, but unfortunately, they're a real nuisance in Shasta County, and I do want to encourage people to not be influenced by their stuff to actually take a stand against them because they do an awful lot wrong. And who knows, you might end up on their hit list. You may have a business that all of a sudden they get mad at you, and for no good reason other than the fact that they disagree with you, they may try to shut you down and ruin your business. Right. So it could happen to you too. So again.
Well, and to kind of wrap that up and move on and get past it, there's a whole lot of people in Shasta County who use social media and use his platform, his model, as a way to, they love to go to the meetings and, misinformation this and the stuff that people put out there about you, about Patrick, about Chris, about me, about Katie, about author, people who have never met us in real life. Mm-hmm. This is where I've kind of hit my breaking point. I'm done. Is people who have never met any of us, who know nothing about us, are using this platform, using this model, whatever, to, so-and-so is this, and blah, 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 blah. You make this post, you send it out, you mass post it to, the sites that they use are divisive enough. Anybody who just follows that, I think, is part of the problem. By giving it attention, you're adding to the problem. By being on those sites and not saying anything again, by watching evil happen and doing nothing, you're part of the problem. I have friends who are on there and they send me things. I'm appreciative of the fact that they send me so that I'm not going there because I don't need to go troll those sites. I don't care to see what they say. But to continue to put all that stuff out there, do that. Then people share it to their personal pages, So you want to talk about misinformation. Going out there and posting things about Chris, about Woody, one of the nicest, most wonderful, caring men who does so much for our community, who is such a staple in our community, to post things on him on a regular, to just disparage him and drag his name through the mud and whatever. And then those get shared to all the other pages. Talk about misinformation.
Well, let me add to that. And I know we want to get off of this subject, and we will, right? But let me add to that, right? So I made that speech before the Board of Supervisors in favor of the Second Amendment resolution, right? Well, that irked Nathan Pinckney off, okay? To the fact that I would get up there and speak my mind, and the fact that that speech that I made was well received. That kind of thing just drives him nuts. So he posts the speech. Well, thank you, Nathan. I wanted my speech to get out there, and so you gave it additional coverage. So good for you on that.
They've done the same thing. They share Patriot State of Mind videos, and then we get an extra 900 views.
Yeah, exactly. Well, here's what he does, though. Here's the real kicker, right? So he tries to label me a hypocrite because I'm supporting the Second Amendment, but on a particular conversation that I had with him, right, I was accusing him of being a criminal who should be in jail because he committed criminal threats and he wasn't prosecuted, right? So Nathan is saying that I am denying him his Second Amendment rights. He's saying that he acted in self-defense when he grabbed a handgun and he went after Carlos and his friend who had already left the area, right? They're gone. He's claiming that he is exercising his Second Amendment rights and he's acting in self-defense. Let me just say, as somebody that has been a handgun instructor, a lifelong shooter, you don't need to have any credentials. You just need common sense to figure this one out. When you pursue somebody, Nathan, when you go after somebody who's left the area, there's no self-defense, bro. There's none. That is an act of aggression. You are committing a crime, okay? There's no self-defense there.
Go take Marshall's class.
And furthermore, the Second Amendment has nothing to do with that, okay? You are twisted. You are sick, all right? That's the facts of the matter. So no, there's no hypocrisy on my part. You're wrong. You were wrong to pull the gun. You were wrong to do all those things. And the Second Amendment is not your justification, and it was not self-defense. Fine. Okay. Now we have decency. We have integrity, right? We have a higher standard. He has none, okay? Which also speaks to something else I want to bring up before we move on and talk about other things past him, which we certainly certainly should do, right? But there is one more thing that we need to touch on. His girlfriend attorney, baby mama, whatever you want to say, right? Lisa Jensen, okay, encourages him, helps him, supports him, even though she technically, as an attorney, is an officer of the court. Now, I could talk about the fact that they met because he's got quite a long criminal record, and so they met because she's a defense attorney, and I believe she was representing him in one of his stunts. Okay. So I guess he got into trouble before he got notoriety, because now that he has notoriety, everybody is too scared to do anything. They're too scared to enforce the law. They let him disrupt meetings, but that's another story. Anyway, my point is, they meet under professional circumstances, right? And she has this sexual relationship with him, which is evident by the fact that she's pregnant with his baby.
I hope she realizes what that looks like and what that does for her future in that profession, because I know people who are in the same profession as her.
Don't you think that they would know better than to put themselves in a questionable situation with somebody who does wrongdoing like that?
Yeah.
I mean, it's ridiculous, right? Wow, this is amazing. Attorneys, even though they have a reputation to the contrary, attorneys are supposed to be fair and honest. I mean, this is, of course, in a perfect world, which clearly doesn't exist because they're known to be anything but for the most part.
Hello, Mountaintop Media. I am here in front of the Shasta County Courthouse with Rich Gallardo. We just got out of the TRO hearing to set for an evidentiary hearing. Because you cannot serve Mr. Pinckney, it's being extended again. I don't know about the rest of Mountaintop Media, but I did see a post that he had put out saying that he would be a man and accept service. So whoever was looking to serve for Rich, contact him, let him know what date and time so he can accept his service like a man. This would be my pleading for him to show up. Rich, you should have some people prepared to serve him tomorrow at the board meeting, correct?
Yes, absolutely. I've got some folks that will serve Nathan if he's willing to accept service.
So if he would like to show up, we will happily have that available for him so that this case can move forward. It should be heard again in about 2 weeks, and then a hearing set.
And there's multiple TROs in place, so I can't be within so many feet of Nathan, nor he within so many feet of me. So I won't be at the board meeting tomorrow. So Nathan will be able to show up there, and no TROs will be violated.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And Mountaintop Media, we are always trying to bring you the most up-to-date coverage of the cases happening in your county. Have a great day. We appreciate you.
I'm here to serve Nathan Pinckney for a hearing at Shasta County Superior Court on May 13th. My name is Eric. I will be leaving this on the front door. Everything we're doing here is captured on my body camera that you can see right here. So everything will be captured that I'm I just wrapped it in your front door, very secure. It's not going to blow away. Captured on my body cam that I'm leaving it here. You guys have a good day.
They're never going to come after us. They're never going to come after us. Number one, the truth will set you free. Okay? Disclosure. We're not making anything up. I'm going to get there. But here's the deal. These people that are running all this fraud and corruption, if they come after us civilly or criminally, guess what happens, folks, when you go into a courtroom?
Tell us.
Yeah. It's called disclosure. It's when you start subpoenaing records and documents and stuff.
Show us what you got.
And so guess what? If they ever came after us or me, doesn't matter. We get disclosure. I will say, oh, I want everything.
That's the vault, all of it.
I want all of it. I want all your emails. I want all your documents. I want all your training materials. I mean, I will go down the list, and they will say, well, we'll calendar this court date for 3 years from now because it's going to take them that long to give me all the documents. So after having the cops called on us a couple times, I was a little pissed, right? We're on a podcast. I can say a word like that. Well, I did a citizen's arrest of Dave Marin, who was in charge of the shot clinic that day at the fairgrounds, and I composed a citizen's arrest. And at his house, I wonder, he's probably, how in the hell did they find out where I lived? Don't worry about it, Dave. So we showed up. CHP met us there. Okay. And that was my arrest. It's not their arrest. It's my arrest. I incur all the liability.
Your arrest.
Yeah.
I know.
I incurred the liability. The cops are just there to witness it and to process the paperwork. That's it. But that's the only security job I'll take, is one where it's no questions asked. You pick it up when I'm putting down. Yeah. Just I'll handle them.
I'd like to see.
Don't even ask me what happened, where the bodies went. I will just handle it.
How do you manage an interview?
That's the no questions asked security job I will take. Are you kidding me? Oh, I'm all over that.